So I want to start off with Brittany Griner, the WNBA player who is locked up in Russia. So it looks like she was locked up on February the 17th of this year, and they are waiting for her. Her arrest is going to be extended to May the 19th of 2022. So with Brittany Griner, you know, I wonder if this is just my thought process and everybody's going to be, a lot of us be like, well, it's really evident what it is. But honestly, this is just what I look at it. I look at it as, did this woman really break a law? Does the women, or does the civilization, does the regular people of Russia, do they get held to these same crimes if they possibly commit them? So what had happened was, when she was going through the security at the airport, they went through her bag and they saw that she had cannabis cartridges for her vape, I'm assuming. Or more likely a vape. This is what you use the cartridges for. So they went through her bag and they found it, and they arrested her on it because they said she was holding not chemical, but she was holding just contraband and drug paraphernalia. So with her arrest, I want to know if that is true justice, because we know that the justice system fails us a lot. So I want to know, because I don't like to come into situations with a bias. I like to look at all aspects of it all before I come to a conclusion. So my two thought processes is she locked up because she is breaking their laws, and those are what their laws is over there, and they hold everyone to that standard? Or is she being locked up because she is a U.S. citizen and we are at war with Russia right now? And, that could be just them holding her as a hostage, like a war hostage. That could be them trying to send a message to the U.S. because they also said that no one from the U.S. has tried to come down there and talk to her. And I'm thinking, is that a way to try to bait people? Like you guilt trip them so you can bait them so they can come down there and you keep them too? And then you start trying to make these outrageous demands? Or is that because y'all saying, are you trying to call us hypocrites? So it's always multiple sides to the story. So you have to really give it time to play out to see what is really going on. But yes, Brittany Griner is locked up in Russian prison. And it's sad, but sometimes I'm like, okay, if this is what their laws is, it's like nothing we can do about it, really. But if this is a way where they're abusing power, then yes, we need to speak up against it. We need to fight for her to get home. We need to fight to know what's going on, because them Russian prisons are some of the worst prisons in the world. The conditions are terrible. The criminals over there, the everything. And they was speaking about the conditions over there, that she may be held in very, very harsh, inhumane conditions, because a lot of prisons around the world, like our prisons, is probably like the Taj Mahal of prisons. The American prisons is like the Taj Mahal of prisons compared to these third world countries and just these other countries. So I hope that she gets justice. I hope that she is able to come home, because that would have to be so scary to be locked up somewhere and they don't even, probably a lot of them don't even speak your language, and you're just somewhere and have nothing to heal you, to ground you. But that's why, we do have to have a relationship with God, because in a situation like that, that's the only person that she could probably connect to and relate to and be able to talk to through that situation. So just all prayers for that young woman. She's 31 years old. She plays for the Phoenix Mercury. She plays for the Phoenix Mercury, and I just hope that she gets home safely, and that she's doing okay, and she just is being strong and persevering. But I also we need the U.S. to intervene and get this young woman home. Intervene into that, because it's tricky. It's just tricky with this Russian thing going on. It's like, you don't know if they just holding her because she's an American. And you know how the world hates Americans too. They think we got it easy. We think we got it going, everything going so well. That's why a lot of immigrants come over here, because we sell dreams. Like, I know a story. I know this is off topic, but it's just about the dream selling. So this lady, there was at a point in time where they started to advertise Hawaii and a lot of people moving there. So we sensationalize, or we gain all of this mental control over people to get them to what we want to do. But they sell us dreams. So yeah, I just have to, just wanting to say all prayers for that young lady, and hopefully she makes it home safely and sound, and she gets help if she needs it. But yeah, we need to get the USA to put a fire under that, because this could be some type of war tactic. That's the bigger part. The bigger part of it. Yes, she is an African American woman, but also this could be just some type of war tactic. So like I said, only time will tell. So also, you guys, I've been searching and finding. I've just been so lost. I've been so confused. Like, it's been driving me so crazy, really, to try to find the answers to why gas is so high. Why is gas so high right now? Because now I'm wondering, how is a war between Russia and the Ukraine affecting the U.S.? I do know the U.S. has an alliance with the Ukraine, which is NATO, and that is just them having that we will help to protect them and fight with them if the control of Russia were to like Russia, what they're doing, going to war, trying to bully these people into submitting to their government and being a part of their system. So we have this alliance with the Ukraine, but we're not necessarily, and there were some soldiers who just went over there to fight for the protection of the Ukrainians. So in a nutshell, I just wonder if gas rises because that is their way of paying. That's how we pay for war. Just adding the tax on things. We're paying for war. We're paying for these men to actually go over there and fight. Or is it rising because with that war, there is something in the mix of that is causing us to, that is hurting our economy? So I'm like, how is the Russian and Ukraine war hurting the United States economy? The only intervention that we have within that whole situation is just our soldiers going over there. So yeah. And then it's like with our soldiers going over there, we're fighting, we're protecting, and yeah. I think that if the gas prices are rising and it's to pay for these people, I totally understand that, because we do know the gas prices raise and they fall. But I also tried to look into see what type of relations does the United States have with Russia, and I couldn't find anything. I look at Russia as that old white man stuck in his old white man ways. That's how I look at the mindset of that country and of Putin, of Vladimir Putin. Is just someone set in old traditional ways, and Ukraine is trying to progress. They're trying to be progressive, and they're trying to not have such harsh laws, and they're trying to move away from tradition. They're trying to be more of like a liberal. Even though we say Democrat, I would say liberal, free. They're trying to be a democracy, stuff like that. So that is just a lot of the wars that we deal with are a battle of the minds. It's a battle of ideals and ideologies. And I feel like this is right. Well, I feel like this is right. And what you feel is right is wrong. And what you feel is, what I'm saying? So that's where war comes in. And also power. Of course, power too. But the power comes from, of course, money and thinking that you have the right way of how to govern people. So there's been evil rulers and good rulers. So on to my next news. I thought this was kind of interesting. It wasn't interesting, but it was just kind of sad. But I saw that there is a man, and they have taken him into custody, but I'm not going to release his name until I know for sure, like, that is the person. But they have captured a suspect, and there was a man going through New York and Washington, D.C., killing homeless people. He set some on fire, he stabbed some, he shot some. He was just going on a rampage. But this man has been put in custody, and I hope that the homeless people get some type of justice, because that's sad. You know what I'm saying? People have That's why mental health is important, because homeless people, those are people who have mental health conditions. A lot of them have been on drugs, and it's just a lot of conditions that will cause someone to be homeless. So that was just really sad, and I'm just glad that they found someone. And we are to take care of everyone, love everyone, And so on to my next news that I wanted to share with you guys is a lady and her husband from the Boston Black Lives Matter movement have been arrested. I apologize for tripping with my words, but yes, they have been arrested on criminal charges for fraud. So basically, it seems like any attempt to get ahead, the government always tries to intervene and shut you down. You know what I'm saying? So basically, they had a nonprofit for stopping the violence within the Black community, and they were Black Lives Matter activists, and they were getting grants and loans from the government through their nonprofit. But with that money, they were spending it on, they was paying their rent, they was taking trips, paying off debt. So the government obviously did an audit on them and convicted them of these crimes. And this is what I would say. If they were given this money and they're Black and their organization is thriving, is doing good, and the money, is financially where it needs to be, if it's doing good, whatever else they do is should not be your business. As long as you see that they're spending money towards their business and the business is growing, and you see that, okay, they didn't fed over 100 families with the money that we've given them. If you see that they're taking the money and using it for their business regardless, I don't think it's a big problem if, because, of course you gotta monitor, they monitor our bank accounts. They do that. But it's of course you gotta, make sure people are doing things the right way. But how do you know that the money that they're doing doesn't come from them branding themselves? So I don't know how deep that they investigate into these people's finances, but it's any little thing that people do to get ahead is they always try to really control that. It's they want people to stay struggling and stuck, So yeah, so the woman the lady has been released. She has been released, but she's not able to deal with none of the money, and she only is able to work at her nonprofit for 2 days a week. So look how they just controlled this woman. If she was helping families that was coming to her, if nobody can say, well, this woman, things start to slack, things just wasn't up to par. But if she was keeping that going, why would you give these people a hard time? Also, we do know that Black Lives Matter, don't nobody really mess with them, but sometimes people are trying to find identity. They're trying to find a place, and we never know if these people really had intention to empower Black just because they were associated with something. Because a lot of people didn't know, the NFAC, there were a lot of men who had the right intentions, a lot of women too, to protect the Black community, but they did have a bad leader, who gave the whole organization a bad name. But there were people who were within that, who were stand-up people who really wanted to fight for something, So with that said, let's get into Kim and Kanye. So as we see, Kim and Kanye West have been recently divorced, and we've seen Kanye's excessive cries, excessive pleas for help on the media. So they have banned his Instagram because dude is just, they said they banned his Instagram because he was bullying, violence, harassment. So they didn't want to promote that. And it's so crazy how they pick and choose what they want to promote. For real. It's just so crazy. Or what they want to protect, shall I say. What they want to protect and what they want to not even look into. So Kanye West and Kim Kardashian has had a recent divorce. And honestly, I am a very analytical person. I like to get to the heart, the root of situations. So I see a lot of us as Black Americans, we love Kanye West. We love him. I did too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't love what he does. I don't love how he lives the way his life. But I can always have empathy, love, and sympathy for someone. I would never want to make someone feel bad. So, yeah, I would never want to do that. Even if they are wrong, even if they are a piece of shit, I would never want to make anybody, it's not my intentions coming into a situation to just tear somebody down. But I would just say that you have to really pay attention to things. And I know a lot of us are not aware of morals and values. I really believe that. I do, because how you live your life is a reflection of what goes on in your head, what goes on in your spirit. So what someone does, you can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. So what someone does tells you who they are, tells you how they were raised, how they were raised, mindsets, spirituality, all of it tells you everything. You have to watch people's actions, not listening to their music and praise them because of this big accomplishment. You praise them for being a stand-up person first. You praise them for that character first. So I wanted to talk on how with Kanye, I want to point this out really quick. Kanye made a song about Jesus Walks With Me years ago. Kanye, talks about the Bible. He's, switched R&B music into gospel songs, which is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this man is crying out and his soul is needing some type of intervention, because I think, so this is my two perspectives on how Kanye feels about the Black community. I feel like in one aspect, he's a nigga. So we're going to connect on our skin color. But just because we have the same skin color doesn't mean we're the same up here. So if you talk about Jesus is walking with you, and you talk about, and you got a choir that's traveling, doing Sunday services and singing to people and stuff like that, then why don't you live the life of someone like that? If you always revert to your community when you need healing, when you need love, why do you marry white women? And you married Kim Kardashian and you dated Amber Rose. So that should tell you a lot about the way this man thinks and how he views stuff. Even though he doesn't voice so much, he just voices what he wants you to feel sorry for him for, because he's a narcissist. He thinks he's great, and he is. But you have to have a sense of humility. You have to have a sense of modesty and a calm soul and common sense. So I don't like Black men or Black women defending Kanye West. They're not holding him accountable. And that's just what my issue is. You're not holding him accountable for the fact that he is with Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian is a woman who gained fame from selling her body, selling her looks, not being intellectual, not building children, but she's became famous with being in vain and who her father was. So he's dating a woman who is not. I can't, and I try not to judge people's walks with God, but this woman, it's evident that she is not a God-fearing woman. Like just yesterday, this girl was on Ellen DeGeneres talking about Pete Davidson branded her name on him. When you in the fraternities and he branded his name, her name on him, and then he get her name and little thoughts and stuff about her tattooed on his body. She's 40 years old. Why is that cute? Why does that faze you? Something is mentally not right with this woman, and there's something mentally not right with Kanye. So I think that fame is what makes you another monster. But just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you can't have wisdom and make the right decisions and have the right people in your life. I've never been in that, but it's just like, why do you try to, persuade us to feel sorry for you, to this and that, but you're not even married to a Black woman. Come on now. Why aren't you married to a Black woman? Like, why did you marry? What is your issue with Black women? Because you was with, like I said, Amber Rose. You have music about messing with white girls. Like, you don't really mess with sisters like that. But you appeal to us because we are a major fan base for you. And that is one thing that I think, like, Kanye is a master manipulator. So I feel like he knows that we love when he speaks out for us. But I feel like he probably don't value anything. He just says what's going to get him ratings, what's going to get him, people on his side, stuff like that. I don't really feel like he's genuine about it because your actions will show that. So, yeah, I think that he may just pander to us because we're the ones who put money in his pockets. He panders to us through music, through religion, because you have to, like I said, and I will always say this, you have to look at how a person moves. Your woman is a reflection of you. So if you are dating white women, that is not, that's cool. It's about the spirit, the mind, but there's nothing wrong with white women either. But statistically and case studies have proven there is something wrong with the black man who can't be with a black woman. It's not even about a white woman. It's about being with your people. Why can't you, what is wrong with that? Black men are the highest rate of men today. That's how they raised them. So all in all, I just want to say we need to stop feeling sorry for Kanye. And that documentary he had, I could care less to watch it. I don't like people trying to play on my emotions, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that is a sentiment that is trying to get you in your emotions. That's trying to get you to feel sorry for him and look at him in a different way. But no, all of that is to cloud you from holding this person accountable. That documentary doesn't change how he is living his life and how he is being as a black man. It doesn't change that. So you have to remember that. So what they're going through, they deserve it. Stop feeling sorry for this man. He put himself in this situation. What we need to do is start holding these people more accountable. We need to start holding everybody accountable because we want excellence, right? We want to be great, right? We want to continue to build a community of black children and healthy black children, happy black children. So we have to be real with ourselves. We need to let go of a lot of biases, and we need to live in truth and in light. So I am Vanessa XIX. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tune in next time. We'll be talking about some more juicy stuff, of course. But yes, I want you to subscribe to my channel, like this, share it. If you liked what I was saying, if you like the content, just support a sister. Just support me. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you. You here for me. We here for we here for everybody. So I love you guys. I'm sending you blessings, good energy, love, light. You are powerful. You are strong. And have a good evening. Thank you.